You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
सामान्य मैं हूँ, सामान्य तू, मन में छुपा जो कैसे कहूँ.
Okay, so that was singer and composer Ankur Tewari, and on today's episode of Offscreen, I'm going to be talking to him about what inspires him, the independent music scene in India, and actually a lot more. Hi Ankur,
Hello.
and thank you so much for being on Offscreen.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me.
You were a hotel management student, is what I read, and the interest in music happened because your parents had a lot of different kinds of records, and you kind of grew up listening to that.
All of this is on IMDb.
No, this I read on Google.
Oh God, it's not IMDb, man. I got so scared. Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, how did that interest become a concrete reason to pursue it as a career, as a career option?
To be very honest, music has always been a very important part of my life right since childhood, as you read on the internet. This time internet is right. There has been a lot of music around in my life, and various kinds of music because of my parents' collection, international music, domestic music, classical, film, all of that. And it was almost kind of second nature to have music around you and to play music. And I used to sing. My mom used to sing. She used to direct theater, so there was always music around that way as well. So somewhere in my mind, even when I was in school, I was writing songs in school. I was playing music in school. Somewhere in my mind, there was this dream.
This is in Belgium, right?
This is back in Roorkee.
Okay, but you were born in Belgium.
I was born in Belgium, but when I came back to Roorkee, I was always playing music, and my father got me a guitar. I was playing guitars.
And self-taught?
Yeah, kind of self-taught. There was a teacher who tried to teach me, but he hit me on my knuckles, so I got really upset. So then to teach him a lesson, I learned it on my own. I was an angry kid.
Work productively though, right? You ended up learning yourself.
So pretty much somewhere in my mind, I was always a musician and I was always making music professionally, but I never really thought about it. I was going with the zone, how, I don't know if it happened with you, but as kids, as a kid, I was just going through my own zone. I was zoning out and enjoying myself, not really questioning myself what the real world is about.
That's true. You live in a bubble as a child. Also, your attention span is so short that you're moving from one thing to another mostly.
So I was going through that zone, and only when I was nearing my 12th boards was the first time when I kind of faced that question:
what do you do now?
What am I going to do now? And at that time, I never really thought about it. It was always because everybody is taking examinations for IIT entrance or this or that. So I was just doing that. And I grew up in a small town called Roorkee. So in the school, there were not many options. Either you would do medical or you would do engineering. Or maybe
there's an IIT also there, right?
My father was a professor there. So
right.
I grew up in the campus.
Oh, nice.
So the whole idea was to just try and pursue one of those because that's what everyone did. But as you have already noticed, there's a kind of a rebel in me. So I had to do something different.
Yeah, you're having coffee in our office. Yeah.
Could we say that? Okay.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so it was always trying to counter a pattern.
But were you, sorry to cut you, but were you also actively doing music? Was it a thing every day you would come back from school and do it? Or was it
I was doing, I realized very early that music is making me popular. So I should just get all the attention while doing music. So it was good. It was somehow I had the knack for it. It all fell into place and I used to really enjoy it. While playing it, I would lose myself for hours and not realize what was happening. So after 12th, I realized that I should try and do something, and I never thought that music could be a career, whereas I always fantasized myself as a musician. In my own time, I had given speeches winning Grammy awards and all of that to fake audience. All of that happened as a child, but when real world hit you, you never really knew a musician in your life. You never knew whether you could pursue or even how to pursue it, what to do, what does one do, what is the process of recording a song. I had my own rules in my head. And then for a period of time, then I because I didn't want to do engineering, I didn't want to be a doctor. At that time, people were doing hotel management. I saw this ad in the paper. I said, okay, let me try to do that. Just the rebel in me wanted to do something different. tried doing that. Within a few months, I realized that's not my cup of tea either. So then I went into a different zone for next 3 years.
But did you finish it, the degree?
I did finish it, but it was I was not attending school or college at all there. I was just doing my own thing. Like in the hostel, I was playing music, or in the cafeteria, I was playing music. So I see that period from like 12th to my just before 12th to my end of my college as a period where I kind of got derailed being a musician. But otherwise, I've been doing music ever since.
Well, like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, like when I was growing up, I only heard Bollywood music. So
Shit.
yeah.
Sorry for you. But
No, yeah, but it was actually not that bad when I was growing up. Like now when I hear remixes, now I'm like,
what was your
I
favorite
miss-
album?
when I was growing up?
Yeah.
I really like the Kaho Na Pyare album.
That's a nice album. It's a
Yeah.
groovy album. You could dance to it.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I liked that. Then later, like Jaane Tu Hai Jaane Na, the album, the Barfi album, the Rockstar album, yeah.
They're nice albums.
Yeah.
Like when when I was in school, like the Roja album completely changed the paradigm for me. And I heard that kind of sound, which is completely different from the Bollywood sound, that kind of made me believe that you could make music which doesn't sound like the stereotypical cliche Bollywood music. There were some amazing albums that came out in movies and in the independent scene as well. But having said that,
Like so many Lucky Ali songs also. I mean, I grew up on that.
so it was a very interesting phase where, because that pretty much gave me the hope that I could do it. So that was like when I saw Lucky Ali's "Oh Sanam" video for the first time. I remember very clearly. I saw it in Bhopal, and then the sound was on zero. I really felt like wow, like, and he looked like Tintin driving his bike to the pyramids, and I said like wow, that's Tintin with a music video. And I turned the music on. The music blew my mind. I said, oh, I want to be like this guy. So yeah, it really changed the way that I was approaching music, and that was pretty much the time when I was in college, when I had to take the big plunge, and that helped me take that plunge.
जान के पहचान के तुमको अब क्या हो गया मैं लो नकाब उतार के कहीं पे इतना क्या हो गए हम खफा आइंदा ना मुझे
But how has the music, like the independent music scene, evolved since then? Do you think?
Crazily now, there's so many like really like this year, if you see in the top 100 songs, there would be at least 10 songs that are non-film songs. It's become more democratic. It's more interesting. The way that it is, the only way that I see it has changed negatively is that numbers have become very important. Earlier, numbers were not so important. Earlier, we never called songs numbers. We would call them songs. When the digital age came in with the
Like top 10 chart busters, that kind of thing?
it pretty much started with CD technology. With cassettes, they were called songs, and with CDs, there used to be numbers because you could skip a song, right? That idea was not there. You would listen to a song, like you were saying, short span, attention span. During when I was growing up, the attention span was much more because we wouldn't have that option of like skipping.
Right.
It would be you listen to a song and then you forward. Forward.
Yeah.
Rewind. Like I remember I had a Walkman, and the cassettes that I used to really like, I used to have 2 of them, and I used to rewind one on.
And you had to keep doing that, no? Like if you wanted to, you had to keep.
Yeah, so one would play in my thing, in my Walkman, and the other one, the Reynolds pen, it really fit well in that, and you would be a Buddhist monk rolling it, and it would fit, and then you would fit that, take this out, to keep the things ready. Yeah. So, but now numbers have become important in terms of how many views you've got, how many comments you got, how many likes you got, how many dislikes you got. It's become a numbers game more, and that influences people in thinking that songs and things are better now. Even if you don't like the song, you get pressured by the number. You feel that so many people have liked it. Is there something wrong with me that I'm not liking it? Like that game wasn't there at all earlier. Earlier you would like a song or not like a song.
Right. I think on that note, you should hum a little bit of Dhua Dhua because I've just heard it and it's a lovely song.
What did you think about it?
I really liked it. Like it's going to be my, like, you know, when you work and you just need something.
Is it going to like
calming
make you topple your Kaho Na Pyare Hai playlist?
Oh yeah.
गर्म हवाएं हैं चली, आंखें भी जली जली, सोचा ना था ऐसी होगी, धुआं धुआं सी जिंदगी, मिलने आसमानों से आते तारे थे कभी, रातों की भी यही कहानी, धुआं धुआं सी जिंदगी, धुआं धुआं सी जिंदगी.
Yay. Thank you.
So now keep this song in your head, running
Yeah.
in your head for a bit.
So it's soothing.
You can listen to it before you go to sleep.
Yeah,
It'll help you fall asleep.
it will. It will. But how would you describe your sound as? Like, I somewhere read that you called it minimalistic.
That's because people ask me how to describe it. So I had
Oh,
to describe
okay.
it. Actually, I don't describe it, but
Okay.
Because
Because it would box it for you in your head.
Yeah, because then it would pressurize me to make a certain kind of music. But it's what comes to me. It's like I feel it and it comes to me, and it's like a sound of surrender. Like you surrender yourself to a feeling, and then you see what's coming. It's like you really, when I create my songs, that's the end of my ego for those few.
How do you do it? Like, are there ways? Are you just sitting and it comes to
You
you?
spoke about meditation, right? No, she spoke about
I-
meditation earlier. Okay.
Nah, I can't do meditation. So
You should try it. It's amazing.
I just can't do meditation.
But for me, it's a meditative state. When you write and you really, because we are, struggling with so many questions and things in your head, when you are applying yourself to write, you just really surrender and you become that speck of dust in that beam of light, and then you
It comes
dance with
to
the
you.
universe. Yeah.
And how do you separate inspiration and or like just a blatant like a copy, right? Because everything inspires us. Like most artists are inspired by things, even when filmmakers are making movies, etc. Like, there are so many people are like, oh, it looks like that, but that's because we are that as people we are whatever we create is inspired by what we see around us. How do you like work around that? Like what inspires you and
I mean, you always inspire. It's the intent. It's like, are you trying to fool someone and pass something off that is not honest? I think there's everything that might be inspired by something. It will be a copy if your intent is not honest.
You know when you're plagiarizing.
If you're kind of being lazy and you're stealing somebody's idea, is different from seeing something and getting inspired by somebody's idea. Is because then you're not being lazy. Then something has happened inside your system, and you feel that.
and your work could have traces of that.
Always like you. It's like your version of that work.
So, you were like the music supervisor for Gully Boy, and what does that entail? Like when you're arranging this music, like you had how many artists? More than 60?
64.
Yeah, 64 artists. Like, what did you have to do to create that album?
I mean, that it was just like a process. I had never done it before like this in an organized way. The idea was to design the palette of the film in terms of sound palette of the film, and then give the director enough material that she could play with. And it was not like a movie where you would, because they were still writing the movie, they had written a draft and they were writing movie while I was collecting songs. It was simultaneous process. So the scope of work wasn't like you have to do 5 songs or 6 songs. It was just, it's a to and fro, and then they were using, I was creating that world of music and throwing things at Rima and Zoya, and then they were using it and knitting it
Okay.
into the storyline and things and making it. So it, like when we started off, we didn't know we were going to work with so many people.
Yeah.
It started off with the idea of working with Nazy and Divine, and then it started snowballing into what it became.
But there was an overarching kind of theme that you wanted to like cater to.
Yeah,
Obviously.
definitely. Like in terms of sound, in terms of, it's basically the thing where the protagonist is from a real world that is based in a real setting. So the music had to come from there. So the whole idea was to be authentic to the story.
But was there like the reception towards that music? It did so well and so many people loved it. Very like reassuring for you at a time when
Yeah, it
so
feels
many
nice.
remixes are working and like there's so less original music and then there's this album in a place like India where I've met people who don't even, like my parents don't even know rap, and they loved the music of the film.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so like it's.
It feels
for
good,
that-
yes. I would be dishonest. I would say it doesn't feel good. It feels very good.
Hmm.
But there were also so many forces who believed in it. Like right from the producers to the director, even the music label. It's a big risk that they took, and I feel like this one paid off.
Yeah. And it'll only encourage more people to do something like this, right?
Yeah,
and
it's
not
actually
take
you're
an old
listening.
song and remix it, yeah.
I mean, that's also, I have nothing against it, but you do it well and don't copy it. Do a cover version. I love cover versions, but do a proper cover version. Don't do a...
Yeah, that's a take, right? Because
Yeah, then
and
do
that's-
your take. Like, bring
Yeah.
yourself in. Like, there are some remixes are actually nice. Just because you're hating remixes, you end up like the water mein ghun pis jata, and then that you start
because there's
hating
so
that.
many, so you.
But
don't
actually, it's
remember
not a
the
bad
names.
idea too, because it also gives more life to the songs. It introduces a song to a new generation. So it's not a bad idea. It's just that how it's executed, the intent is not right. 99% of the time, the intent is not right. 99% the intent is, we're going to make more money.
Right.
And that 1% time, there are people who adapt it and they do a good version. That I remember that these guys, what's the remix that I really like? That Bachna Hai Hasina.
The title song? Yeah.
This-
the title song.
I thought that was a great rendition. Like there's a whole trumpet section they introduce, and then there's a whole, kind of a rap that he
Yeah.
does.
Retained portion of the old song and
That's a fucking amazing part. It's a good remix.
Even in Queen, like when she's at that Indian dance club and there's Hoto Pe Lagai To Hungama Ho Gaya, like it made so much sense because it was an Indian song playing in a nightclub in
So
London.
it's
I mean,
how
so
it's used. Like, so there's nothing wrong with remixes. It's how you do it. I really like that remix, and there are many more remixes I think that they can do well, which is not just putting a fancy beat under something.
What do you do to like rejuvenate? Like, I mean, people listen to music in their.
I take offs. I read books. I travel. and go
So
to
reading
places.
and traveling is your.
And then you disconnect from work. Usually, if you say no to a big project, it feels really good and empowering. And you go and you see art, see photography, read
Does
books.
listening to too much music sometimes get on your nerves or something?
I don't listen to too much music. I listen to
Okay.
a little bit of music, but I don't listen to too much music. Like, music is around, but I don't sit and listen to music. It's playing around. But I do love reading, and I do love traveling. I do love seeing other artists' work, as in painters and photographers.
Okay, so I wanted to end by singing this song that I liked of yours, and I think people do, which was this collaboration you did with Prateek Kuhad, called Beparwa.
थोड़ी थोड़ी है सबकी सुनी, थोड़ा कुछ तो सबने कहा, थोड़ा थोड़ा समझा भी मगर दिल ये माने कहाँ, बस इसकी जिद है दिल बेफिक्र लापता, कैसी ये धुन है खोकर भी कुछ ना मिला, इस दिल की आदत यही है गिर कर संभलता नहीं है, जालिम समझता नहीं है ये कोई सुबह, ये दिल बेपरवाह, ये दिल बेपरवाह. It would have sounded better if I had not had that cold coffee, but
Well, that's
This is
okay.
how
You
it
always
was.
sound great. Well, thank you so much, and all the best for the
thank
song.
you. All the best with your work.
Thank you. So that's all for today. And if you like this podcast, please do check out more on Apple, Google Podcasts, JioSaavn, Spotify, or any other platform we're on right now. And please do subscribe to the platform of your choice to keep listening. If you have any feedback, please do reach out to me on at nandkumar_27 on Instagram and Twitter. Or you can also drop me a mail on nandkumar.ramohan@thequint.com. Have a great week and see you next time.